Hello dear viewer and welcome back to Dark Deity on Steam with me, Thae'Lanel at Lunar Nebula Gaming. We are approaching Empyrean's final battle, probably. And Irving can feel it too. We're close. I can feel it. We must be nearing the top of the tower. Do you think he's close to completing the ritual? He knows we defeated his Revenant. He'll be doing everything he can to complete the ritual in time. Irving is right. The latent energy that has been flowing around us feels stagnant now. I feel it too, like it's slowly converging somewhere above us. We're gonna gut him for what he did. The snake deserves to suffer. What he did to Sterling was unspeakable. Then, to leverage it like that, I won't allow him a painless death. We can cast him into the staff, make him feel every pain that others had to on his account. It could be done, but I think it would be a mistake. We have to remember who we're dealing with. He's about to destroy Thae'Lanel as we know it. For as long as we would have him in our custody, we'd risk letting it happen again. And for what? Revenge?
It's not that simple.
He doesn't even know what he's doing. I don't much care if he means to or not. A swift end is too kind. Look, I love some righteous vengeance as much as the next gal, but we have a duty to everyone that got us here to do this right. Sterling wasn't the only one Empyrean and Akmenos kept from the grace of death. Nor was he the only one whose legacy they have waltzed on. Far from it. I understand. What he did to my brother makes my heart rage against him. A part of me would jump at the chance to see his greatest pains realized. But we're no different than the countless widows and orphans he's created this year.
Still.
We may be the ones here, but we carry every soul he's harmed on our shoulders today. We owe it to them to end this. I know we're all hurting. I love each and every one of you for caring as much as you do. But we don't get the luxury of rage. We can't face him down with anger. I'm going to give him another chance to surrender. He won't take it. No, maybe not. But without mercy, who are we? We too have blood on our hands. More than any of us ever asked for. If we meet him in a fair fight, it's quite possible he can take us all at once. All the more reason to be measured.
Whatever it takes.
We do this together, like we've done everything that got us here. We protect each other, and if one of us falls, we fight that much harder to make sure it wasn't for nothing. This may be our last day, for all of us. Empyrean expects us. I think we should take a moment to make our peace with that now. And prepare! Alright, let's save ahead of time. We have 4 tier 3 tokens, that's not bad. We have some bonds, let's do those first. Sloan and Thae'Lanel. Tell me, Thae'Lanel, how would you change Delia, given the chance?
Seems unwise.
I wouldn't wish to change it at all. Why do you ask?
Oh, come on.
That can't be true. You live in your ideal society where everything goes perfectly. You have to have thoughts. Faldaran is not an ideal society. I hope I have not given you the wrong impression. We are a deeply flawed people making the most of our situation. Yes, but outside of the obvious caveats, everything you've told me of it sounds like a paradise. There is beauty in the motion of a thing, and a beauty in the stillness. Some sun elves collect paintings because they appreciate the static beauty they afford. Faldaran is beautiful in a void, beautiful when it lacks motion. The truth of Faldaran is less pristine than that. An entire people stripped of their agency in life, born with the expectation that they will never choose their own path.
That's cute.
Certainly your people make choices. Choices in a greater framework that cannot be broken. If Sarah wished it, she could walk away from Aramor and never return. She would never.
It is forbidden.
Indeed, she would never, but she could. That lack is felt deeply among my people, more deeply than I know how to explain. You seem to have made peace with it. We all do. I have found myself considering the implications of that more and more. I feel guilt that my children had no choice but to find their peace with it as well. You have kids? Yes. It is not the same as in this part of the world. They are raised communally. I barely know them anymore. I see. Maybe there is simply more to the picture that I'm not seeing. I'm starting to believe you when you say it's not so perfect. Few things are. Okay, interesting. Liberty? I'm so proud of you, Irving. I wish your father were here to see the man you've become. Sterling, too. Every time I think I've pushed my limits, I have to go further. I don't know how I'm still standing, Liberty. You're still standing because you need to be. That's what we Sildarans do. We keep going.
How is this fair?
It's not fair. No, it isn't. It really isn't. I want to come to Shellabon's with you when this is all done. I want to join the Order. I don't think this is the right time to make that decision, Irving. I've never been more sure of something in my life. Atlas did this to thousands of people. I'm not unique in my suffering at his hands. In the Order, I can at least try to stop that from happening again. There will always be evil people in this world.
Still.
I never doubted that. If anything, it makes me want to join even more. It's not an easy life, Irving. It's aged your father well beyond his years, constantly managing the Order. As his eldest son, you'd be expected to take over one day. I hadn't thought of that. I'm not sure I'm a good fit to lead such a thing, especially on a continent I don't understand.
You're wrong.
No, the hardest thing is that you're a perfect fit. You would do a better job than anyone else I've ever met. I truly believe that. And yet, you don't want it for me? We'll see, Irving. We'll see. We need to focus up and finish this. For Sterling. For Sterling. Okay then. Elias? Irving. I'm so sorry you had to see that. To do that. I've never judged anyone capable of that kind of cruelty. Your brother, No, that was not my brother. Whatever power we contended with, it controlled his desecrated corpse like an empty vessel. But it was not him. I watched Sterling's soul depart from this world. That's not something I'll easily forget. No, I'm sure it isn't. You know what that's like, don't you? To have something so terrible burn so fiercely in the eye of your mind. Yes, it catches me off guard now and then, but I still see flashes of the souls from Akmanos' staff. I want to forget those sights, but every time I remember their ghastly faces, they seem to crystallize somehow. I don't know that I'll ever be free of them. We can try to forget, Elias. We can try to fill our minds with better and more pleasant things, but in all likelihood, so long as we live to sleep, they will return to haunt our nightmares and dreams. But when we wake, the choice is ours again. The choice of how to spend our days, where to direct our efforts and our eyes.
Still.
And right now, our eyes must be fixed on justice, with everything we have. Anything less will all but ensure our defeat. You know, when enlisted on a whim, my friend's whim, really, I never could have guessed it would have come to this. That I'd be standing here, in this place, now.
No kidding.
Who could have? It's unimaginable. That's what makes it real, I suppose. And now Empyrean's had his go at conforming reality to his vision, to the benefit of no one but himself. It's time that came to an end.
Yes.
High time. Irving, do you remember when we liberated Dervin? Just before we launched our assault, you looked around at each of us and seemed to take us in, as if it might be the last time. Then you called us to arms. I remember it well.
I'm with you.
That was the first time I felt that I was fighting in a war I believed in, under the leadership of someone I could trust. And even now, after all that, the feeling hasn't faded in the slightest. And let's hope it's strong enough to last you one more battle. I'm certain it is. To arms, Elias? To arms. Okay. That's right. Every humanoid here has 2 arms. Don't forget it. Not 4. If you don't mind my saying so, I think that blade's as sharp as it's going to be. Oh, yes, I know. Just a nervous habit of sorts. Something troubles you. Nothing beyond the obvious, really. The odds don't favor us, and so much has already been lost.
Take heart.
Irving, you cannot lose hope. You are the source of it for too many. Tell me then, what should be my source of hope? Hope is not some commodity like a mug of ale, diminished as it's passed from one to another. It is a defiant act of the will, and just one spark, your spark, is enough to set a city ablaze. Sojourn, ablaze. I think that's what I'm worried about. Do you remember what you told me after we rescued your mother? That it was a reminder, for all of us, of who we're fighting for. Not just some lofty idea, but real people. Mothers and sisters and sons. And friends too. You shouldn't have to look too far to be reminded of that. No, I don't. It's those sisters and sons who I'm worried about. If I could bring an end to this without shedding one more drop of blood, then you would. I know it. And it's good that your heart dwells on these people. Quite frankly, I'd be more concerned if it didn't. But you must not let that weaken your resolve. What gives you hope then, Vesta Lamar? You, Irving. Please, I'm serious. I want to know. When I took the secret oath, I pledged my life to the Order of Eternals, to the protection and defense of the aspects against those who would use them for evil. Before you and your friends found me in my temple, the Order was failing that charge. I would not have succeeded in my defense, or even escaped with my life without your aid. But when I saw Orima again, and met all of you, when I saw the bonds formed across borders and birthrights, I thought there might be a chance to actually put a stop to this evil. Once again, I had hope.
Still.
We knew so much less than we know now. I'm surprised we would have that effect.
Do not lose hope.
And still do, Irving. For so many, not just all of us here, take solace in that. I will try. If we're idle, destruction will not be slowed. That much is certain. Which is why we must not be. The gods have blown a wind in our sails. The time has come to raise the anchor and use it. If Ford heard you using a nautical metaphor... Please, don't tell him. I won't. Thank you, Vesta. You're an inspiration to each of us. May it bring the gods glory, and Thae'Lanel justice. I'd settle for that. Alright then. Alden. Wait, did we get A's with... Oh, everybody but Garrett because I didn't bring him along. No. Hey, Irving. What happened when you went in there? Did you actually talk to a god? I assume you're asking about the trial of the soul? When I entered the inner sanctum?
Yep.
Yeah, we all tried putting our ears against the wall. Well, most of us anyway. But we couldn't hear anything. Just silence. I wouldn't be surprised if there was some magic at work suppressing the sound. The voice I heard was not quiet. It was as clear as I might sound speaking to you now.
Wow.
That's crazy. I considered the possibility that I was losing my mind, just as it was happening. Thankfully, I seem to have gotten on all right since. But to answer your question, I'm not sure who or what I talked to. All I know is that it claimed to be Coeli Sumash, the god of the soul, and it was unlike anything I have ever encountered. And it's all real? The astral plane, the gods, the aspects, all of it?
Yes.
Everything we've been through would lead me to believe that. Yes. I mean, look outside, Alden. Look outside! Wild. I still remember when some of my friends at the academy started telling me all that stuff was just the stuff of fairy tales to get little kids to behave. If that's true, then I'm just as certain we're living in just such a fairy tale. And let's hope it's the kind with a good ending.
No kidding.
Yes, let's hope. Whether or not we are may very well be up to us to determine. If that's the case, I'll do everything I can to make sure it is. I'd put a fair amount of coin on that, Alden. If I were a betting man, that is. Like Garrick? Yes, like Garrick. Garrick, no! One day, Garrick, we may get an A conversation with you with Irving. So, you're Con Valburen's son, heir to the Duchy of Silvergarden. You are a clever one. Do tell, what gave it away? Your surname, mostly?
Ugh.
Of course it was my surname. I'm being facetious. Oh, well, I meant it as a compliment. Your father's just about the only nobleman I can respect. That makes one of us. Really? Con has a good heart. He's the only one who seems to care about his people. And that is precisely what makes him a fool.
What?
Only if his sole goal was to accumulate more power and wealth. What's the point anyway if you can't use it for good? I assume by good you mean satisfying whatever ravenous wants leap from the mouths of the peasantry. Most commoners in Delia live in squalor, while Varric's war tears their sons and daughters from their homes. Tell me, seeing as we've accumulated a large store of rations, should we toss it out to the stray dogs? They're hungry. They'd certainly eat it.
Come on.
I'm talking about people, Monroe, not dogs. That you are, and yet the equation is the same. The resources go to those who know how to spend them. Simple math, really. But how can you expect an uneducated populace to understand?
Don't think so.
Someone should have taught you empathy before they taught you math. Well, maybe when this is all over, I'll return to the academy and enroll in a class. So clearly this is before his change of heart. I guess I haven't had them on the same battlefield enough, or close enough to each other. Alright, see ya. Helena. Our lessons have been progressing well. These scarves you're knitting are of a sale-worthy quality. You think so? I think I'm starting to understand what you meant about it being relaxing. It was stressful when I was blundering about, but now we can chat and I don't have to think that much.
That's right.
I'm glad you're starting to see. Many write knitting off as a lesser activity, but they know little of the peace it can bring one's mind. I don't know about all that. I just know my neck isn't going to be cold when we're marching at night now.
I don't understand.
Does it not burden you to keep such worldly concerns at the forefront of your thoughts? Not at all. I live in this worldly world, therefore I am worldly. Stands to reason my thoughts would be of worldly things. That is remarkably intelligent.
Oh, come on.
Do I have you reconsidering your choices?
No.
I am firm in my beliefs, but I am constantly seeking that which may broaden my understanding of this world. You and I are vastly different. You can say that again. Long ago, I may have held it against you, or thought it a lesser view that you hold. I know better than that now. We live according to our creeds. I wouldn't say I have a creed, not like you or Lincoln at least. I should be more careful with my words. It is rare that I misspeak so. A more accurate word to my intention is our values. Well, I have those. We all do. It is nobody's place to judge another's set of values. It is folly and beneath us. I guess so. Hey, would you mind helping me finish this piece off? My loop at the end always gets caught. Stay still for a moment. It wouldn't do for me to end your apprenticeship with an unfinished skill set.
There.
Shift it to your right, very slightly, then a clean follow-through. Trust that it will turn out well, and it will. Awesome! Is that how you always tie it all off? Most often. Better technique will only come with practice. As always, I should go get ready to sleep. It got late all of a sudden. Time passes quickly between friends. You know, it does, doesn't it? Have a good night, Helena. And the same to you. Aw. Okay, nobody else. Forward. Elias. Wait, so Elias, you were actually born and raised in New Lake?
Sure thing.
That's right.
Whoa there!
Gods, if the rumors I've heard are true, you're lucky to be alive. If what you've heard makes you believe that, you have good sources. But come on, is the whole place really that backwards? In other respects, too, I mean.
Impossible.
If you're an addict and you value your life, your best bet is making a beeline for the nearest border, without exception. In other respects, perhaps surprisingly, Nule is quite advanced. Lavelle, for instance, harbors some of humanity's greatest achievements in art and architecture. I haven't heard the worst things about the food, wine, and women either. Anyone can find something to suit their tastes in the cities. See, they used to say the nastiest things about your country during the border wars, but I always had a hunch there was more to the story.
I'm with you.
Propaganda is an effective tool in capable hands. Sure, but let me tell you, I smuggled a case of New Asian wines and it was much more effective. When the older folks went to war, we had to get creative with our cultural immersion. I'm sure you did. Do you remember what regions your wines were from? They're all quite different.
No chance.
You're asking the wrong guy. Ah, a shame. I might have been able to hunt down some exports.
Whoa there!
Oh, buddy, I'm not picky. Besides, if you get it wrong, you can always just try again.
Charming.
That's generous of you to offer. Hey, you're the one offering. All right. I'll see what I can do. Okay, interesting. Fenton apparently has, nope, that's still a bug, I guess. You know what, we will try a one by one. Boop. 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 Okay, yeah, as far as I can tell, that's just bugged out. Okay. Boop. We save. Alright, we have 25k in gold. That's 4 tier 4 weapon upgrades we could buy. Monroe's Death Ray. Maybe? Felling Axe we don't need. We always use Drainier pretty much. Benji, he has the Katana. That's been fine. But we could go for the broadsword being a little better. Sometimes we want to be a bit dodgier. Sometimes. Alden, you're great. My little pyro, you're doing great. Stia, you're fine. Vesta, we could upgrade. But if we're attacking with Vesta, it's pretty much as a last resort. Oh yeah, I definitely want to upgrade Ford's axe. Maeve, I don't know if we're... How many people can I bring? Probably 14 again, probably. And we brought our A-team pretty much last time. Yeah. Yeah. So like Helena and Alexa. I should upgrade Molten Globe. This does make it pretty heavy. I think we can still get away with that, though. Okay, now we have Meteor on her. That might be bad. Great Axe, I could do that. But once again, I think Draenir is just our best bet on Kai's, because we do generally want him to dodge. Fire Rune. Could upgrade the Assegai. Thae'Lanel. I will probably end up taking Thae'Lanel. Just because he's kind of a tanky son of a gun. Sarah. I probably want to upgrade Sarah. Liberty's Verdant Tide, maybe, but probably not taking her. Iris, we have Alden. Alden kind of takes the cake for our Pyromancer stuff. Plus we have dragons who also have fire magic, so Iris, I'm sorry, your position has been usurped. Brooke, Marin, Faust, Garrick. Yeah, I think we're pretty good. Okay, so let's just buy tier 4 weapon tokens, I think. And, oh, I should double check my healing. Do I have... Because I know Caius, at least. Oh, I forgot to have Sia eat this. What foolishness. Well, we'll have her eat it in a bit. I keep having that, too. Ah, so many mistakes. Oh, well. Oh, well. Here we go, Caius. More corn on the cob for you. Corn on the cob for Thae'Lanel. But maybe we don't take Thae'Lanel and we take somebody else. Certainly a possibility. Tier 4s. And I can't afford any more tier 3s. I can take a couple tier 2s, right? No. I can take one tier 2 token. Sure. We'll do that. This is probably our last hurrah. Okay. Monroe's a death ray. Upgrade complete. Benji, you're fine. Congealed assault. Can't really do much. Word, if I upgrade it, it gets heavier, so I don't actually want to do that. Ford. Drain him. Maeve. Still don't know if we're taking her. Worm range on Elias we can upgrade. Do I is the question. Could upgrade Meteor. We have Draenir upgraded. We could upgrade Thae'Lanel, but once again, he's not our best character. I'll think about it. Corbin, oh, I never finished upgrading you. Marin. So if I'm only bringing 14 people, and they're pretty much the people we took last time, if I don't take Thae'Lanel, I will probably take Sarah, who's more likely to die than Thae'Lanel, so... You know what, I'll do this. I might end up regretting that, but we'll do it. Elias is fine. Elias, your worm rage seems like a good plan. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. We do that. I have a tier 2s and one tier... Yeah. Okay, so we could get something all the way up to tier 2 plus 1. If there's something that I think we really need. Which honestly, we don't really have anything that intriguing. We could try to give Sloane more critical hit chance or something. Try to make Vesta more accurate. Ford, I mean, I'm pretty much just using Draenir. Okay, well, I think I will upgrade the pylon. And then... could upgrade Lightning Strike, could upgrade Twister. Upgrade Twister, because it's currently weight 3, that's his best chance to dodge. Thae'Lanel, we could upgrade the Flail. Yeah, why not? We have a terrible time hitting anyway. Okay. Save. And that's where we'll leave it, dear viewer. Leave a like if you've enjoyed Dark Deity. Subscribe for more gaming videos. Comment below on what you think our chances are of no one falling in battle next time. And I hope you, dear viewer, have a great day.